All right, so welcome back to Happy Hour with Heather and guest. I'm Andrew, and I'm joined by members of the band Hexicon, Andrew, Austin, and Young. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to speak with me.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
I know you're out in, I'm guessing you're all out in Pasadena, California?
Yeah.
You're in the surrounding area?
Surrounding areas, yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I know recently the single Emerald Queen was released. That's the latest track that you guys had out. I had a chance to listen to it. It's been out since last month, so everyone can listen to it now. In fact, you should probably hit pause on this, go listen to the track, and then come back. It actually reminded me a lot of Leviathan era Mastodon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure, we'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly didn't sound like it, but that's what that's the sense I got. So I don't know if Mastodon is in your repertoire of influences or.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I used to listen to them a ton, like all throughout high school and early college, but I never learned any of their songs. So I feel like I had like the sound in my head, but I didn't learn how to do what they do. Right. So it just kind of came out in the Hexicon way of, along with many other bands that we're all into. So
yeah, that was the impression that I got. I was like, what does this remind me of? It was not the sound, it was just sort of the idea, like the concept behind it. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You mean like the video you're talking about also?
Well, no, I mean, I had just listened to the song. I haven't watched the video yet.
Gotcha.
But now that I know that there's a video, I will go back and check it out.
Yeah, it's tight.
So
Young animated it.
So awesome. Yeah. So hit pause, go check out the video, listen to the song, do what you got to do, and then come back, and you'll understand more about what we're talking about. And I know there is a debut album, Leave It All Behind, which I believe was released last year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So that'll be cool. It'll be cool. I always enjoy sort of doing the reverse engineering. Like I've listened to Emerald Queen, and now I can go back and listen to the debut album and sort of see what decisions have been made. Mm-hmm. So I know the band started in 2018.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did you guys get together?
Well, Austin and I were brothers, so we've known each other a long time. We had a band previous to this one called Andros that was just a 2-piece instrumental band, and Young had come and seen us play, and we knew he was into metal and invited him to come jam, and then it just kind of grew from there. Yeah, because originally we asked him to come play guitar, but then he switched to vocals pretty quickly.
Gotcha. Okay, so it was a sort of an organic thing that grew out of just liking the same songs and having the same desire to make music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I was a fan of their show. The two of them as an instrumental duo. Like I went to their shows and I just thought they were great. And it just dawned on me to be like, hey, if you guys ever want to jam and have someone sing on top of it, then I'm game. And it just kind of worked out. I think we started with just like covers and stuff that we both liked.
Yeah.
That's there's a pretty rich history of singers. Like I think Eddie Vedder joined Pearl Jam similarly. Mm-hmm. Like there was a cassette tape going out that they had put together, and he came and auditioned with that. And I know, I think Anthony Kiedis just got on stage one night and started singing with what would then become the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So you're in good company.
Cool. I hope so.
It works. Yeah.
And then my other question, I guess, just based, where does Hexicon come from?
It's a made up word.
Okay.
I forget how it went, but like we were tossing around band names, and I remember suggesting Lexicon, but I also thought it was kind of like, it's not quite it. And then I don't know who said, someone said like hexagon, like just the shape. And I was like, that's like nothing. And then I don't know who said hexicon, but that came up, and it was
Well,
like,
part of it,
it's kind of cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
part of it was just like kind of trying to combine our last names,
That was it.
Oh,
yeah.
that's-
Heller
yeah.
and Cox.
That
So it was
it.
like you have like the HE from Heller and the XOC from Cox, and then just like kind
No,
of
we just cheated.
squished it. And then like hexicon, it looks kind of like hex icon, which is a cool phrase, I feel like.
Sure.
Yeah.
So there are a lot. I mean, there are a lot of variations to the origin of the name.
Yeah.
They're all.
Yeah.
I mean, the mythology is always better than the truth. So let's just run with the fact that it's a combination of all those things.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
a rich stew.
Oh my
That's
God, it's a rich stew. Perfect.
And you know, it's just the nice punchy 3 syllables. It's memorable. Bam.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I feel like you know, it gets you thinking. So like I thought I was like, should I know what this is? Am I?
Yeah.
should I-
Yeah.
So it's certainly, you know, and it is familiar enough because it sounds like you know, a word that you should be familiar with.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, and yeah, it can spin in so many different ways. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Oh yeah.
all right. So Emerald Queen was recently released. Is that going to be this? Is that sort of the first track off of new work that you're going to be putting out, or?
Yeah. You can take it, Young, if you want.
Oh yeah, sure. Well, we have a few singles that we want to put out, and this is the first of a few singles that will be ultimately, I think, maybe an EP in the future. But there's no full length album in the near future, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just kind of going to do the singles game for a while just to keep things moving and putting stuff out there for people to check out, you know, kind of stay around. Because like when you go to make an album, you kind of, at least for us, we kind of have to go away for a while and like do that. And then it's kind of like, you know, people forget about us, you know, because everything's moving so fast on social media and stuff. So singles is kind of like, we're just kind of interested in trying that out right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think what's been interesting for me as an outsider is to sort of hear a little bit about people, you know, people's process in terms of, like you had said, you go away to the studio for a bit, you're sort of outside of the scope of what's happening. Sometimes I'll hear people who just do everything in, you know, at the computer. They'll record on, you know, Bandcamp and Pro Tools, and they don't really have to do. So it's interesting to kind of hear the different routes you can take. But I think that's a good idea. Put a few singles out, stay within everyone's on everyone's radar, and then that'll give you time to work on new music too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I think our process is kind of like Austin starts off the whole thing with he basically makes a song. Well, like a bunch
yeah,
of
like I come up with a bunch of riffs and then I kind of start to hear ones that go together. So then I put it together in like a kind of skeleton of a song, and then I bring it to them, and if they like it, we just kind of go to work on it, and we all work together to kind of form it into the final product. So it starts with me, but it's really all of us is like where it comes together, like when we all get to work on it together.
Sure. Yeah, no, I think everyone's process is always different, and it's whatever works for you guys. But based on what I've heard, at least in Emerald Queen, it works. So I would
Thank you.
don't make any adjustments. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to checking out Leave It All Behind, so I can get the full sort of scope of what you're doing.
Cool.
But, in the meantime, do you have any shows coming up? You playing?
We have a one-off coming up in May. We're trying to plan some stuff possibly for the summer. But we have, a bunch of songs like ready to be like recorded pretty much. So it's kind of like, let's just hammer these things and get them out there and, see where we can go after kind of that. But yeah, we're just a one-off in May so far.
We've got it's May 25th at the Redwood Bar in Hollywood.
27th.
27th?
Yeah. I got that wrong.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Well, the 27th.
Right, so May 27th at the Redwood Bar.
Redwood Bar in Hollywood.
In LA. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and if people, I know you're on pretty much all social media platforms. If people want to find your music, they can go. Interestingly, I don't know if you're aware, there is another band named Hexicon.
There is, yeah, some British band.
Yeah, so it was interesting because I went to Bandcamp, and I was like, wait a second, this doesn't sound
a little different.
Luckily, it's starting to become more separated, just kind of naturally. But yeah, like if you search it, they always come up too. Still,
well, and they have more of like a traditional English folk rock sound, which was why it was so because I had just listened to Emerald Queen, and then I was like, wait, okay, something's wrong. If you're looking for the band we're discussing, make sure you're checking out the right band. They're from Pasadena or that surrounding area, not from across the pond.
Yeah.
But, no, that's cool. It's within the last couple of years, I've sort of gotten to know some of the California scene a little bit. The Oil Barons, I don't know if you're from or Salem's Bend. I can see if I can put you guys in touch with any of these people, but
cool.
Because it's a small world, I would imagine. In California. But no, that's cool. I'm glad there'll be. So you're gonna try to release some more singles within the next few months.
Yeah. We're finishing up one right now. We're like in the final stages of getting the recording together before we mix it, and we got more songs to just start recording right away. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I would suggest, again, if you haven't taken my suggestion of hitting pause and going to listen to Emerald Queen, do that now or afterward, now that we're almost probably done. But check out their debut album too. I'm curious to see what's changed, what stayed the same since Leave It All Behind. And
should we spoil it for you, or are you? Do you want us to like go into it?
You can. I mean, I'm happy to know the ingredients of the secret sauce before I taste it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the biggest conscious change that I'm making is like I'm making shorter songs. Every song on our album is like super long. Like the longest one's like 10 minutes, and then the shortest one is like over 5 minutes still. So I find it easier to write longer songs than to keep it short and sweet. So that's kind of the challenge I'm setting on myself, like make something to the point, heavier, more like just, crushing in a shorter amount of time.
Gotcha. I think those are the things that you don't really I think when you're playing guitar for the first time and you're imagining your life as a musician, probably not the first thing crossing your mind is how long should I spend developing songs? Should I go for an 8-minute song or a 10-minute song? But these are the things you should think about if you're out there. Maybe be conscious of. That's that. Okay, so that's it. So in the future, probably less time. Each song will be.
I mean, and literally by making a shorter song, it makes the process shorter. Like our album took forever to make, took us over 2 years, I think, which was great. It was great fun and had a great time doing it. But it's I would also like to be putting out songs way faster than this. So that's kind of like where it all came from in my mind.
Gotcha.
I
Okay, so
think
that's
also like the songs, every song was like our little baby, and we we were trying to get them really like dialed in, and of course we're still doing that, but it was definitely a different process when they're 8 minutes long and they're an opus, and
sure.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So well, it'll be interesting moving forward, like going back, seeing where you started, seeing where you're going, and knowing some of these things now. It'll be interesting to sort of revisit everything.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, check it out.
But I am excited. And those of you out there, be sure to check out Hexicon. Emerald Queen is the latest song. It's recently out last month. And Leave It All Behind was an album from last year. There are going to be more singles coming out, which I'm excited about also. So good luck with everything. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
It was fun. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
You got it. Take care. Have a good one.
All right.
Adios.
Peace. Bye.
Peace.